My work is about kind of de-articulating given material in the world or in kind of culture and stuff, and kind of deconstructing it or kind of reassembling it under the guise of kind of new use or kind of maybe new methodology. So with this piece, it was, there was a lot of cultural things going on, but also it did kind of represent a really interesting kind of method for kind of creating music. And Jason, who's a composer and musician, was like, the way he was playing his bass and stuff kind of reminded me of kind of backward sounding things. And though this piece kind of started as an idea many years ago, eventually, I addressed it with him and we were like, let's really do it. As we spoke about it, what we were looking to do was to kind of create this as a means in which to compose, and specifically as a kind of a folk form, kind of in the sense that
Most of the time I write with an idea, like a concept. Like he comes up with a lot of concepts for art and then figures out a way to create them. I come up with concepts for music, a way in which playing or a technique or something to do that'll change the sound of things. And in some ways my music is an experiment of, well, what is this going to sound like? And how can we make it into something that sounds good, or maybe it doesn't sound good,
Yeah.
So when we got the idea, for me, and originally, it was an interesting idea. Can we transcribe and can we recreate the sound of a record going backwards? And how is it going to translate, or how is it going to change as a result of that transcription or that translation in a way?
Right.
Like, what's it going to sound like? And so that seemed really fun and exciting. And then also the idea is that when you do that, just that process, it becomes sort of its own thing.
Yeah, it becomes. I mean, the thing becomes fundamentally changed and changed in a way that is productive, rather than kind of changed in a way that is just simply recycled. The song is called "Into the Void." It was on a record called "Master of Reality" by Black Sabbath, and it was released in 1971. And we took, in deciding the piece, it was like, well, there's several movements to the song. There's several solos. It's really anthem-like. And not only that, the lyrics of it are totally utopian. So, and then the title of the piece, "Into the Void," we thought, well, if we reverse it, then you come out, then you can...
Coming from beyond.
Yeah, you come from beyond. You kind of...
Going into the void.
Right, so you emerge from this place of indistinction, and it's kind of like this Orphean return. It was a big reason for the choice, and artists and kind of writing, all kinds of stuff, is kind of really fascinated with this kind of indistinction or this kind of death or this kind of void. And
you're also putting it into the chamber setting or the classical music setting. You're playing on this idea of people listening to records backwards, and it's the idea of Satanism or something.
A lot of my work also, it's not only translating kind of found media, but it's also just translating something to different types of reading and presentation. So in the exhibition, with the opening of the exhibition, you'll see the performance and you'll see the piece performed. And inside the exhibition, we'll create a video, and we'll also show past performances of the song. And then there will also be on the wall a score, the original arrangement that Jason made for the piece that's been adapted and kind of aestheticized. So here you have these three really distinct engagements with the work. So where the performance becomes somewhat about the people, it somewhat becomes about us, because being the artist, and the kind of sonic situation, the video becomes about a kind of like another affect. And then the score, the written score, becomes about another kind of reading. So all these things kind of conjoin, and then like it's fully kind of surrogated or translated.